guys, it is Tanya, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another speed build, and to yet again another installment of the Squish. Today, obviously, I am building another tiny house, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to do one for somebody who really likes succulents. However, for some reason, I was like, you know what, Tanya, let's challenge yourself with this idea, and use only base game, so you don't actually have very many succulents at your disposal, so you're gonna have to be a little bit creative with some show live edit objects, and yeah, that's what we're doing here today. Of course, if you have other packs, there's tons of really cute succulents, like from Tiny Living. There's a really nice set of them that came with Discover University. You can add so many succulents to this build, but I wanted the base of it to be just completely base game so that it'd be easier to download for more people. And I haven't done a base game tiny house in a little while. I really like building with just base game, so it was definitely a nice challenge. We have lots of different succulents, cacti, all of that out front. And I used this barbed wire fence to add some texture to the front of the build. But I actually end up swapping it over to the other side a little bit later. And I thought it was kind of a fun idea to have two separate buildings that are connected by a little deck in the middle. It made it a little bit more interesting. So that's what I ended up going with. So on one side, we have the kitchen, dining, living, and on the other side, there is the bedroom and the bathroom. And I think that worked out pretty nicely in the end. Anyway, working on some landscaping now. I'm putting these stone walls over on the side. We're gonna have a car parked out there, adding some greenery to the front as well as some rock to park that car on, and working on the roof. And painting the buildings, which I was very, very, very indecisive on. I cut out like an hour of footage of me just changing the colors over and over and the textures. I couldn't make up my mind. I think it might have been the being limited to base game thing. I just was like, well, I don't like this one. Yeah. Anyway, I added these little awnings over the middle, and I think it really helped bring in some needed texture, and I really like it. And then I'm moving these fences over here to be a spot to have some greenery growing up, which I think really helped make this space look a little bit more interesting. But anyway, if you guys are interested in downloading this build, it is available on the Sims 4 gallery, and you can find it under my EA ID, which is Gryphi, Gryphi. You can also find it under the hashtag MissGryphi, and I will have all of that information in the description down below, as well as a direct download link to the gallery website if it's easy for you to grab it that way. As we're working on this landscaping now, if any of you guys are watching this and you're enjoying what you're seeing and you have not yet subscribed to the channel, it's free, and I would love, love, love for you to join our little family here. We are getting so close to 140,000, and it would really mean the world to me if we could hit that by the end of the year. I love our little family that's been growing here, and yeah, subscribe if you haven't. Okay, yeah. Anyway, back to what we're doing. I am adding these little things on the wall here to like kind of look like shutters for this window, and I really like that detail I added. I combined a couple windows over here and just the window update. I know it's been a while we've had it now, and since we've also gotten the platform update, but oh my goodness, the window update is so good. I'm just still so happy about it. And as you can see, the colors are still changing here. I'm still very indecisive about, what color everything should be. And it does take me quite a bit of time to figure that out in the end. Although the other building, the one on the left side, I love that one. That one stays put. It's just this side is, it takes a bit. Definitely takes a bit. I think we end up keeping this brick though. Yeah, we do. I think this might be the final color scheme. I think we did it. Finally, we did it. But just finally adding this car and some more plants around, some more clutter. Trying to make the outside exactly how I wanted it to be before we head to the interior. I have some terrain paint to fix here though, because I moved the house back on the lot, and it really messed up the terrain paint. And I didn't want it to be overwhelmingly green. I wanted it to have some green mixed in with the sand color that was already present here. And I love these pops of yellow I have going on with the flowers. And then these were just added, I think, last year as a base game update, and they're succulents, and they're so cute. It was perfect for this build. So I was very excited to add those outside and inside. They're everywhere. Since I'm very limited to how many succulents we have in the base game, I used a lot of the same ones throughout this build. So you're going to see a ton of them. But, it's still fun. I had a lot of fun with this, and I'm adding these little walkway paths. I did them a little bit curvy here to make the pathway a little bit more interesting, and I quite like that. And then of course some terrain paint under there and figuring out the wood. I switched the wood in here so many times. I could not decide on a color, but we'll get there eventually. It's fine. The floor plan was very simple. It's just that one wall I just placed down. That's going to be the bathroom. Not too much to it. I did change out these counters. I really wanted to use these more industrial looking ones at first. It seemed to match the style, but the colors just were not working for me. They really, really were not. So I ended up swapping those out for the more plasticky looking counters a little bit later. But you know, we're trying right now. I also use this couch, which is one of my favorite base game couches because it's, I don't know, it feels newer and more exciting because it was a base game update at some point in time. And then the bedroom, I love how this came together. I turned around a bunch of these taller cabinet pieces to act as like a headboard and then had some shelving above it. And I think it came out really pretty. I definitely have like a blue color scheme in here, and I wanted to use this bed because it has the leaves coming off of it. And since, you know, this sim like succulents, I figured a plant themed bedspread, which was probably a good idea. But just adding some more plants up on the shelves. We end up adding some books. I have a nice little bedside table. Played around with this quite a bit, and let me just tell you, the platforms were getting angry at me. And the amount of times I had to fix the placement of things on this shelf because this room like jumped up or down and then things weren't actually on the shelf was infuriating. I really hope we get an update at some point that actually fixes platforms because they make me very angry, but I also love them so much. It's so cool to finally have something like that in the game, having split leveling. It's such a nice addition. But regardless, I love how this room came out. We're adding a little cactus up here. I think he looks so cute. I was really excited about that. That was my first okay, we need to add more in here, but we're limited with base games. So what do we add? And I just fixed some platform stuff while I wasn't recording it, but we're now switching out these countertops and I end up adding a little table in here. I think I fit a lot into this space. I don't know where this qualifies as far as tiers of tiny homes though, because I'm only using base games, so I don't know how many tiles this is. I guess I could have counted them, but I don't know. I didn't want to count them. But it's pretty small. I think it's at least, under 100 tiles. It's probably, I feel like it's probably the tier, is that tier 3? I'm not sure. I still get them confused. But adding a cactus here, I put it in a mixing bowl, but then the mixing bowl went bad in live mode. So I decided to swap that out and it looks kind of funky, but it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. Adding some shelves up here, just adding some clutter on them. I used this painting, which was really cool. It's in the debug catalog, but I'm not really sure how in game you access it, but it looks like a close-up of a plant. So it seemed on brand for this particular build. So I was excited about that, adding some curtains, then, fiddling with this mixing bowl with that cactus, and adding some more stuff up on this little shelf. I think did we add another plant up there? I know we add some spoons and stuff for the stove and some spices, so I don't think I add another plant. I feel like I should have. It's always that way when I'm watching back footage. I'm like, why didn't I do this thing? Why didn't I think of the thing? But that's okay. It's fine. Adding a mirror over here and then gonna quickly put together this bathroom. It's super simple and it only has a toilet and a shower. I end up deleting the mirror outside and making that the sink area because since I don't have the university or snowy escape showers, I couldn't really easily fit everything into that space. There are ways to do it. You can do a small bathroom, but I thought that this made more sense. So that's what I ended up doing. Just adding trash cans and finalizing some stuff. I missed some paint on the outside, fixing everything up. And then we'll be heading on into screenshots. I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. That really helps me out. You can also subscribe to the channel if you have not already. We're almost at 140,000, which is wild. I'd love to have you join us. And if you click that bell, it'll turn on notifications so you'll be notified of every single time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye, everybody.